You keep acting like I left you with nothing. I left you the apartment, I left you the car. What exactly are you still trying to punish me for?
Punish you? You asked me to pack your things because you said you needed space.
I do need space.
You needed a clean exit.
There is no conspiracy here, Camille. We stopped working.
Then why did you lie about where you were for 14 months?
What are you talking about?
Dana.
Dana. You went through my phone?
Not your phone.
Then what?
The other one.
What other phone?
The one you forgot in our kitchen.
Camille, give me the phone.
You don't get to tell me what to do anymore.
You have no idea what you're looking at.
I know exactly what I'm looking at. I know about Dana. I know you were talking about our money before you ever told me our marriage was over.
Those messages don't mean what you think they mean. Don't do this.
You already did.
3 days earlier, Marcus had asked Camille to clear out the apartment after he left. He told her the marriage had simply run its course. He said he needed space, and she believed the separation was going to be painful but straightforward. She was wrong. While packing his things, Camille found a second phone hidden beneath a dishcloth inside the bread bin. It was still charged, still connected, and inside it was 14 months of messages that changed what she thought she knew about her husband, her closest friends, and the divorce he had been quietly preparing. She didn't call Marcus when she found it. She started taking pictures. Marcus had left 3 days ago, but his things were still everywhere. A gray suit hung behind the bedroom door. 2 pairs of shoes sat beneath the console table. His shaving kit remained in the bathroom, and one of his cufflinks had rolled beneath the refrigerator where Camille could see it, but couldn't reach it without moving the appliance. His last text was still on her phone. "Just pack whatever's mine. It'll be easier for both of us." Camille had read it once that morning and put the phone face down. She carried the first box into the living room and started with the bedroom. Shirts went into one pile, shoes into another. She folded nothing. Marcus had asked her to clear out his things, not preserve them. By 10:30, half the closet was empty. She found the ceramic mug they had bought together at a street market in Decatur years ago, the blue one with the uneven handle. Marcus used it every morning, even after the handle chipped. She set it on the kitchen counter. The apartment felt larger with his clothes disappearing from it. Camille opened the kitchen cabinets and worked from left to right, plates, glasses, cleaning supplies, his old blender, a drawer full of takeout menus neither of them had thrown away. She reached the bread bin. It was a wooden box with a sliding lid, something her mother had given them when they moved into the apartment. Camille lifted the lid and found 2 unopened loaves, a packet of hamburger buns, and a folded dishcloth pushed against the back. She pulled the cloth free. Something underneath it knocked against the wood. Camille stopped. She moved the bread aside and reached in. A black phone lay beneath the cloth. Not an old phone. The screen lit immediately when she touched it. Battery 82%. Camille stared at it. She knew Marcus's phone. He carried it everywhere, even from the bedroom to the kitchen. This one had a plain black case and no identifying mark. She turned it over. No cracked screen, no dust, no dead battery. It had been used recently. The screen showed a notification. "Dana, are you sure she still thinks you're leaving because you need space?" Camille didn't move. Another message appeared beneath it. "Marcus, she believes what I tell her." The kitchen refrigerator hummed behind her. Camille lowered herself onto the edge of the chair by the table. She looked toward the living room, where Marcus's half-filled box sat beside the sofa. Then she looked back at the phone. The message thread remained open. At the top of the screen was a date. 14 months earlier. Camille picked up the phone with both hands. She did not call Marcus. She started reading. The first message was dated May 18 of the previous year. Camille scrolled slowly. Marcus had written to Dana about meeting after work. He complained about traffic, then about Camille asking why he had been coming home late. Dana replied with a laughing emoji and told him to be careful. Camille kept reading. The messages were ordinary in the way that made them worse. Lunch plans, missed calls, hotel reservations, complaints about work. Photos from restaurants Camille had never heard of, Marcus sending Dana pictures of himself in shirts Camille had ironed that same week. She stopped at one photograph. It showed Marcus sitting at a restaurant table, smiling toward someone outside the frame. The timestamp was a Tuesday night. Camille remembered that night. Marcus had told her he was at a client dinner in Marietta. She had eaten leftovers alone and fallen asleep on the couch. She kept scrolling. The relationship had lasted through holidays, birthdays, and weekends, when Marcus had told her he needed to work. Then she saw photographs taken inside their apartment. Their bedroom, the kitchen, the hallway. A picture of Camille's laptop sitting open on the dining table. Another showed a stack of unopened mail beside the television. Camille zoomed in on the date. She remembered being at work that afternoon. Her thumb stopped moving. A new thread appeared. Marcus, she doesn't know yet. Renee, I told you I don't want to be involved in this. Camille read the next message. Marcus, you're already involved. I just need you to keep doing what you've been doing. She sat back. Renee had been her closest friend since college. Camille opened another conversation. This one was with Tasha. Marcus had asked whether Camille was planning to refinance the apartment. Tasha answered that Camille had mentioned looking at the numbers but wasn't sure. The next message from Marcus was simple. Marcus, good, don't bring it up again. Camille put the phone on the table. For several seconds, she looked at the ceramic mug beside it. Then she picked the phone back up. There were messages about Marcus moving out. Not if he moved out. When? He had discussed leaving before Camille knew there was a problem. Then she found the conversation about the apartment. Marcus, she'll probably assume everything gets split evenly. Dana and the savings. Marcus, I'm handling that before I go. Camille stopped. She opened the next message. Marcus had listed several accounts and amounts. One of the numbers didn't match anything she remembered seeing in their financial records. She took a photograph of the screen. Then another. Her hands were steady. She reached for the bread bin and moved it away from the edge of the counter. The phone remained on the table. For the first time since Marcus left, Camille wasn't wondering why he had gone. She was wondering what else he had already moved. Camille placed the phone in a zippered pouch and left it on the kitchen counter. She didn't sleep much. At 7 the next morning, she photographed every screen she had saved, then placed the phone back inside the pouch. She didn't forward the messages to herself. She didn't call Marcus. She didn't call Renee. At 8:15, she drove downtown. Lauren Mitchell's office occupied the 7th floor of a brick building near Peachtree Street. Camille had met her twice before, both times for property matters. Lauren listened without interrupting while Camille explained where she found the phone. When Camille finished, Lauren held out her hand. Did Marcus give you permission to access it? No. Lauren nodded, then don't access it again. Give me what you already preserved. Camille handed over the photographs. Lauren moved through them, stopping at the financial conversation. Do you recognize these accounts? Some. And this one? No. Lauren looked up. That's a problem. She pulled Camille's divorce paperwork toward her and compared the figures with the messages. The apartment was listed. The joint savings account was listed. The investment account Marcus had mentioned was not. Camille leaned forward. That account exists. According to this message, Marcus thinks it does. Lauren tapped another photograph. Here. Camille read the message again. Marcus had written that he was moving money before leaving because Camille would never look closely enough. Lauren sat back. Don't contact him. I wasn't planning to. Good. Camille's phone vibrated. Renee. She stared at the name until the call stopped. A second later, a text appeared. Camille, please call me, I can explain. Camille showed Lauren. Do you want to answer? Lauren asked. No. The phone vibrated again. I should have told you. Camille locked the screen. On the drive home, she stopped at a bank and requested copies of several older statements from their joint account. The clerk told her they would need to be retrieved from archived records. Camille gave him the dates. She had always kept records for her properties, lease renewals, repair invoices, inspection reports, payment histories. If someone gave her a number that didn't fit, she went looking for the missing number. By the time she returned home, 3 more messages from Renee were waiting. Camille opened only the last one. He told me you already knew things weren't working. She read it twice. Then she opened the photograph of Marcus's message again. She believes what I tell her. The 2 sentences sat beside each other on her screen. They didn't match. Camille set the phone down and opened the cabinet beneath the sink. Behind the cleaning supplies was a folder containing copies of the apartment documents and old bank statements. She pulled it out. The newest statement was from 6 months earlier. One account balance had changed sharply. Camille checked the date. Then she checked Marcus's message. The dates were close. She reached for her car keys. There was another appointment she needed to make. By Thursday afternoon, Marcus's confidence had changed. Camille noticed it first in an email from Lauren. He has requested a private discussion regarding the financial disclosures. Camille read it once. Then she replied, "I don't want direct contact." Lauren answered within minutes. "You won't have to." The meeting took place in Lauren's office the following morning. Marcus arrived with his attorney, carrying a thin folder and the same controlled expression Camille had seen during the last months of their marriage. He looked at her briefly. "Camille." She nodded. Marcus sat across the table. His attorney opened the folder. There appears to be some confusion regarding certain accounts. Lauren slid a printed page across the table. "There's no confusion." Marcus looked down. It was a photograph of one of his messages. His expression barely changed. "That's private correspondence." Lauren didn't answer the point. She placed another page beside it. Then another. One showed the account he had failed to disclose. Another showed his message about moving money before leaving. Marcus looked toward his attorney. The attorney read silently for several seconds. "Where did these come from?" Lauren said, "From a device your client maintained." Marcus finally looked at Camille. "You went through my phone." Camille said nothing. Lauren answered for her. "The relevant material has already been preserved. We're not here to debate how your client chose to document his own transactions." Marcus leaned back. "This is being blown out of proportion." Lauren turned a page. "Your client represented that certain funds were unavailable to him. These messages indicate otherwise." Marcus's attorney asked for a private recess. The 2 men stepped into the hallway. Camille remained seated. She watched Marcus through the glass panel in the office door. His shoulders had tightened. His attorney was speaking quickly now. 10 minutes later, they returned. The attorney asked whether Camille would agree to an amended financial disclosure. Lauren said she would review one. Marcus looked at Camille. "You could have just asked me." She finally met his eyes. "I did." He frowned. "About what?" "The account." For the first time, Marcus had no immediate answer. Camille remembered asking him about their savings 3 months earlier. He had told her the numbers were complicated. She had believed him. Lauren gathered the papers. "We'll proceed through counsel." Marcus stood. His chair scraped against the floor. As he picked up his folder, his phone buzzed. He glanced at it. A message from Dana. Camille couldn't see the words, but she saw his face change. He turned the screen downward. Outside, Atlanta traffic crawled along Peachtree Street. Marcus left without another word. Lauren waited until the door closed. "He underestimated you." Camille shook her head. "No." She looked at the copies spread across the table. He underestimated what he had left behind. That afternoon, Lauren sent Camille the revised settlement proposal. The apartment was no longer being treated the way Marcus had expected. Neither were the undisclosed funds. Camille read the document at her kitchen table. The bread bin sat beside her. The black phone was no longer inside it. But Marcus's plan still was. The divorce was finalized 6 weeks later. Camille signed the last documents in Lauren's office on a Tuesday afternoon. There was no argument, no apology, and no conversation with Marcus. The revised settlement gave Camille the apartment and accounted for the funds Marcus had failed to disclose. He had not gotten everything he expected. He had also stopped trying to explain himself. When Camille returned home, she carried the signed documents into the kitchen and placed them beside the ceramic mug. Marcus had left it behind. She had almost thrown it away twice. Her phone buzzed. "Renee, I know you don't owe me a response. I just wanted to say I'm sorry." Camille read the message. "Another arrived. I should have told you when he first told me about Dana." She set the phone down. A few minutes later, it buzzed again. This time it was Tasha. "Can we talk even once?" Camille didn't answer either message. She opened the kitchen cabinet and took out the bread bin. There was still a faint scratch along the lid from the day she had pulled the hidden phone out. She wiped the inside with a damp cloth. The apartment had changed since Marcus left. His shoes were gone. His shirts were gone. The bathroom shelf where he kept his cologne was empty. But Camille hadn't changed everything. She had left some things exactly where they were until she knew what she wanted to keep. Her phone buzzed again. "Renee. He told me he was going to leave months before he actually did. I thought you knew. I should have asked you." Camille stared at the message. That was the part she had never understood. Renee had known enough to ask. She had simply chosen not to. Camille locked the phone. She put the bread bin back on the counter and reached for the ceramic mug. The chipped handle caught briefly on her sleeve. She looked at it. Then she placed it inside the trash cabinet beneath the sink. Not because she hated it. Because she didn't need it. She returned to the counter and filled the bread bin with a fresh loaf. Her phone buzzed one last time. This message wasn't from Renee. It was Marcus. "I hope eventually you understand that none of this had to get this ugly." Camille read it once. There was no apology. No admission. Just another version of events. She deleted the message. Then she placed her phone beside the bread bin and continued making breakfast. Outside the kitchen window, traffic moved steadily along the street. The apartment was quiet. Camille opened the bread bin, took out 2 slices of bread, and closed the lid. The scratch remained. So did the memory of what she had found underneath it. She left it there. Some things didn't need to be repaired. They only needed to stop being hidden.